Here's your sundial, intact as it was.
Mr. Mortefi, can we have the test results?
Simply put, it's hollow. Here, try tapping on it. It sounds different from a solid object. It's not just a timekeeping tool. It's an intricate mortise and tenon puzzle box. This sundial is hollow with an inner compartment. We scanned it, and there is a small paper scroll inside. However, it's missing a crucial component. We should be able to spin the wheels on the sundial once the right component is installed. Automata mechanics isn't my field of study. I specialize in developing tacitite weapons, but the foundational theories behind these applied technologies are quite similar. It wouldn't have taken me this long if we were dealing with tacitite weapons. Install the missing part, then rotate the wheels to their correct positions, and you should be able to solve the puzzle and access the paper scroll. However, I still have no idea what the missing component should look like. No need to ask him. I can help you with this. I just need some time to think it over. One moment. I have an incoming call. What is it? You certainly are well informed. It's indeed beautiful data. Good taste. Well, since you've put it that way...
Rover, Mr. Mortefi's expression seems to have softened, don't you think? We haven't even asked him to help us with assembling. It looks like Mr. Mortefi needs more time. Maybe we should give him some space to concentrate. Rover, let's come back later, shall we?
Yes, of course. I've already noticed all that you mentioned. Indeed, you just pointed out a blind spot in my thinking. Your workshop? That hellish place? Stop sweet-talking me. I get it. Sorry for keeping you waiting. Let's get back to the sundial. It's a mortise and tenon-based puzzle box. The missing component in the middle needs to fulfill two entirely different structural requirements at the same time. Considering its entire structure, this component needs an automatic buckle that goes down on top of an embedded pointer. I'll draw up a design for you. The parts you'll need can be found in Jiang Li's workshop. I've already informed him about it. You'll only need to go fetch the parts in his place. He keeps a box full of them.
Mr. Mortefi? Is that the person you were talking to earlier? Mr. Xiang Liao, I think?
Yes. It doesn't take me much effort to figure out this little sundial here. But I do admit talking with Jiang Li made it easier. He's the expert in automata mechanics I mentioned earlier. The only principal investigator we currently have. It's a minefield of clutter and chaos. A murky swamp within the academy walls, as vile and perilous as some primeval forest before the lament. Any civilized human would find it impossible to stand.
I see. Shall we go and retrieve the parts now, Rover? mentally prepared myself for the worst, but this place looks much better than Mr. Mortifee's description, though it is a bit hard to figure out where we should start. This should be it. It's quite a box full. Let's go back and show it to Mr. Mortifee. Mr. Mortifee, we found the parts.
Good. Bring it to me.
The test results are in. The mangosteen is just an ordinary fruit. It's suitable for regular consumption. We found nothing unusual about it. From the purple leaf you presented, I detected subtle fluctuations in tacit discord's frequency from two distinct sources, but they were overlapping and difficult to distinguish. This is a rare occurrence. The scattered nature of these fluctuations rules out the possibility of them being left behind through contact. This is not an ordinary leaf, but it doesn't seem to be a tacit discord either. Based on the data we gathered, I believe it was sampled from an area struck with the wave-worn phenomena.
Yes, the anomalies that occurred after the lament, including the formation of tacit fields, etheric sea, retroact rain, and gravity loss. These are collectively called the wave-worn phenomena. And the lament was the start of it all.
As for the sugar pearl, it has been determined to be a type of oral vaccine. This sugar pearl expired over 20 years ago. The low-temperature storage life for this vaccine is about 2 years.
A 20-year-old vaccine. Could it be related to the children's epidemic in Zhengzhou 2 decades ago?
The archives in the Academy should have information on the sugar pearl. The archives here are organized in a unique way. You can start by searching the keywords at the lobby terminal.
Mr. Mortifee?
The missing pointer has been installed, and now the sundial should be complete.
So, the discs are rotatable now.
Yes. Align the correct markers with the pointer we just installed, and then you should be able to open it.
The earthly branches and 4 symbols. These symbols are related to the sexagenary cycle. It's an intricate way of recording time in Huanglong. Nowadays, it is mainly reserved for calendars, numerology, and indexing, but it's falling out of daily use now. What kind of information could it represent?
It's the filing system. Most of Huanglong's libraries and databases still use this method to organize their archives, namely the Grand Libraries.
Exactly. Languages may evolve, names may change, but time remains constant.
It's an elegant system indeed.
The Academy's public archives are organized in this manner too.
I found it! It's located on the way shelf. Mao Cheng Si. Ooh, wait. Rover, it's here! There are 2 photos here. Huh. If I remember correctly, Zhenzhou was established during a year of Wei, several cycles ago. The Zhenzhou City Hall and Huashu Academy were built in the same year. The Gorges of Spirits battle sparked Zhenzhou's founding. And the formidable tacit discord described here? I believe it is... Rover, about the sugar pearl. Life has never been easy after the lament. But I still remember that sweetness from my childhood. The battle against that epidemic in Zhenzhou was grueling. Once infected, children either died or suffered lifelong disabilities, resonators or not. With tacit discords ravaging Zhenzhou and severing all communication with other cities, desperation ran high. Words are not enough to convey how desperate people must have felt. They resorted to self-experimentation with a newly developed vaccine, risking everything for a chance. If we owe our presence here to those who came before us, it's important to remember their sacrifices. If the sugar pearl points to the information and reports we have just read, is it related to your past? Or is it... According to the reports, the vaccine's creator died 3 years after its development, with the rest of the team now aged over 50. You mean... you could be that infant shown in the pictures? They should be around your age by now. But he doesn't have your golden eyes. Rover, about the sugar pearl. Zhenzhou was the most recent city established in Huanglong. The mountains of spirits running from north to south divide Huanglong in 2. The capital and the 5 cities are located in inner Huanglong, while Zhenzhou is in outer Huanglong. The Battle of Gorges of Spirits was the catalyst to found Zhenzhou. Tacit discords were born in the Norfolk Barrens, and their invasion route was originally traceable. However, the emergence of the Crownless changed it. The Crownless is a tacit discord that embodies war itself. The hatred of the fallen warriors and the fear of the survivors are the ingredients for it. With the limited information available, some researchers have speculated its connection with the Threnodian. When it comes to the Threnodian, there is a lot to tell. For now, think of it this way. The Threnodian is the most powerful tacit discord. The Battle of the Threnodian that happened long ago was to fend it off. According to the reports, the Crownless is very similar to the formidable tacit discord we encountered. Our sentinel, Jue, manifested before us in that battle. Rover, about the sugar pearl. We have the symbol Wei now. This should go with the time part. But we can't yet solve the puzzle with this alone. Maybe we can figure out the cardinal direction part by looking into the tokens again. It might have something to do with how we got one of the clues. Rover, about the sugar pearl. What do you think, Rover? I've only seen our magistrate once at the appointment ceremony, so I can't comment on her personality, but her policies have proven effective and greatly benefited us since she took office. Some believe that the remarkably far-sighted and profound decisions were actually devised by Councillor Chang Li due to the young age of the magistrate. You seem to hold Madam Magistrate in high regard.
Let's look back on what we've gathered so far. Our clues point to the sugar pearl as a key in solving the sundial's puzzle. Simply put, one token can lead to multiple targets, and one target may hold several pieces of information. We both had a reason for meeting. The magistrate had information to share, while I had questions to ask. However, her tokens contain both what she wants to tell me and what I want to ask her. Maybe she was running out of time. That's why she could only offer us scraps of the puzzle, instead of actually putting it together. Or perhaps she's indeed a master strategist, leaving breadcrumbs for us to follow. The initial clues may simply be a test to... In other words, there are people who need to be misled, and they may obtain these tokens. It seems there may be hidden dangers lurking in Jinzhou. If it were you, Yang Yang, what would you do to make sure the recipient gets what you mean?
I would emphasize my true message by repeating it again and again.
I'm back! I'm back! Finally done with my patrol. How's it going, Rover? Feeling spry as ever?
Baiju said he is in great health. No issues to report. We made some progress in investigating the tokens, too.
Nothing special. A typical patrol. Well, Uncle Jiang's cat climbed a tree, and on its way down, it landed on Uncle Chempi's head, causing him to take a tumble. Some dogs kept barking and have been scaring the passers-by, so I went there to calm them down. I received a report about someone going missing. I just logged the case and talked to the person who reported it. You're not the one they're searching for, though. Anyhow, I need to visit the person who reported the case tomorrow. Oh, I also tried searching for Rover's terminal number, but the system came up with nothing. The latest record was from today when I took Rover for registration. That's pretty much the update for now. You betcha! All right, I still owe you a meal. The night markets are closed, though. Let's grab breakfast at Panhua's restaurant tomorrow before my shift. Meet you guys there in the morning. Be there or be square. Time to hit the hay, obviously. Don't tell me you're planning on some nightly activities. What? You're hanging out with our magistrate already? Quit bluffing!
Do you have a place to stay, Rover?
Talk about hospitality! Alright, enough chatter or the sun's gonna come up. Let's get Rover back to the city hall and we'll leave the rest till tomorrow. Mrs. Panhua, good morning! 3 bowls of extra spicy noodles, please. What did I tell ya? Nothing beats a bowl of spicy noodles in the morning.
What do you say, Rover?
Looks like Bijou's locked herself in the lab again. Hasn't left since yesterday. Bet we won't see her till she's done with her research. No, wait. Since you're the subject of that research, we could use you as bait to lure her out. We can tie you up at the Academy's entrance, and with just a few tugs of the rope, I bet every researcher will come running at you with Bijou leading the pack. Hook, line, and sinker. In case of an emergency, Rover, roll out. By the way, now that we've figured out the sugar pearl and the sundial, all that's left is that weird leaf and run-of-the-mill mangosteen, right? So it only took us 1 trip to the Academy to solve half of our problems. Either Rover's really smart, or Madam Magistrate was going to make it easy for us to begin with.
What's our next plan of action, Rover?
As for the mangosteen, we got people selling these at the market nearby. We might find some clues there.
Mangosteens are not from Jinzhou. These fruits are usually brought in by boat. Should we start from the harbor? Do you think the token is guiding us outside the city? An ocean of stars, a dark-haired girl, an inverted etheric sea, and the resonance cord flowing from your tacit mark. And you said it was flowing in a certain direction, pointing to the gorges of spirits on the Norfolk Barrens. You've never mentioned this before. The etheric sea and resonance cords in your dreams are real, possibly leading to the gorges of spirits and Norfolk Barrens. Perhaps it was more than just a dream. That girl might be the key to recovering your memories. Madam Magistrate's information aside, it seems to me your dream points toward the Norfolk Barrens. It's a site of the Trinodian War and the source of all TD outbreaks. The Midnight Rangers' frontline base is stationed there as well.
It's a no-go for me if you're leaving the city. My shift's coming up. Protect Rover well, and shoot me a message if you need anything, all right, Yang Yang?
Without a doubt. We Resonators can boost our combat abilities with special items. Our Echoes can use them too. If you feel like it, head to Instructor Yan at the training camp for extra practice and to get these enhancement items.
Yang Yang, did you hear that? Is that someone crying and wailing?
That should be the Midnight Rangers training camp. Let's not worry about it, Shisia. Instructor Yan is in charge of training new recruits. I heard he's pretty tough, but I think Rover can handle anything he throws at her. Speeding up. Defense at the city gate has been strengthened. It wasn't like this when we came back.
Access pass is required if you're heading to the Norfall Barrens. That place is now off limits. What is your business, young lady? It's my third shift and you're still here.
Oh, you must be the soldier on duty at noon yesterday. Nice to see you again. I'm a resonator and a trained martial artist. I can handle myself. Please, I need to go look for someone. I've promised the missing man's grandfather to bring him back. Would you let me through?
Be that as it may, I cannot let you, given the current circumstances. My apologies.
Well, everything seems fine in the city. Are things really that bad on the front lines?
That's why we must stay vigilant, so people in the city can go on peacefully with their lives. Besides, General Jian is currently there at the Norfall Barrens base. Dangerous as it is, he will keep an eye on every soldier, including the one you're looking for. We have already sent a report on your case. You could just go home and wait for the good news. What's the point of staying here?
Thank you, but I have already asked the patrol station for help and tried every method I could think of. Please let me through. I promised him, so I gotta give it my all. I understand your concern. I don't want to be a bother. Would it help if I hid my presence and stayed somewhere further away? How about 5 miles? Or maybe 100? Well, 1,000 might be too far, though. I wouldn't be able to see you clearly.
Listen, nobody knows when the soldiers will return, and even if they do, you might not find the one you seek. It's a dangerous road ahead if you want to reach the front lines, and you don't even have an access pass. Your access pass has been verified. Just you two?
Thank you for your help. I really appreciate it. I intend to leave the city with them, and they have agreed. Will it be an issue for you?
Well, it says you have the highest level of access, so no procedural issues here. Honestly, she could lead an entire troop out of the city with that access pass, and no one would question it.
Sure.
So you're looking for the relative of a veteran, and you believe he's in the Midnight Rangers camp in Deseret Highland?
Exactly. His name is Ji-yuan. I don't know him in person. On my way down the mountain, I ran into his grandfather who was looking for his grandson on his own but ended up lost. I couldn't just leave an elderly person like him out there. So I thought I'd escort him to the nearest city and make further plans once we're safe.
You're willing to go to such lengths with someone you don't know. You have a kind soul, Master Tianxing.
It's all thanks to many kind-hearted people. Without them, Mr. Zhongya and I wouldn't have made it to Jinzhou. I grew up in my sect on a mountain. Spent most of my time training with my masters. One day,
I was told training in seclusion was not enough. I must engage with the world to further my skills, so I started my self-cultivating journey. I've been to various cities and gained valuable lessons, but there is still so much more to learn. This mangosteen? It's got some fresh-looking leaves, soft, springy skin, and 8 fleshy segments fully ripened inside. It looks like a nice fruit. This mangosteen? It's got some fresh-looking leaves, soft, springy skin, and 8 fleshy segments fully ripened inside. It looks like a nice fruit. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. There's a bruise at the bottom. If you don't eat that part soon, it'll spoil. Mr. Zhang Ye seemed confused. He's gone through a lot searching for his enlisted grandson. Lending a helping hand was the least I could do. I reported his situation to the patrol station, but with the chaos on the front line, Mr. Zhang Ye has been extremely worried about his grandson's safety. He'd sneak out to look for his grandson the moment no one was watching. I'm really worried about him. According to what I've gathered, Mr. Zhang Ye's grandson is very likely in the Desert Highland. Thanks to your help, I can finally leave the city to find him. Of course.
Speeding up. Synchronization. Speeding up.
You don't look like soldiers. Why are you here? The frontliners are right up ahead.
I am Yang Yang, an outrider of the Midnight Rangers.
A missing person. Juyan. The one you're looking for. Is he an average person? Not a resonator, I suppose.
Yes. Have you seen him? Is he all right?
I met him once. He's not officially enlisted, but he seemed determined to join us. He's been secretly following our troops since last year. I think a quartermaster of the rear guards escorted him away, so if he's not in the city, he must be in the rear guards camp. He can't be anywhere else. The actual front lines are right up ahead, and we, the Midnight Rangers, would never allow non-servicemen to approach and risk getting killed.
Thank you.
Now, if you're heading that way, I have a request for you, my outrider comrade. On your way there, you should run into 2 detection beacons. They just went offline. Could you go check?
Sure.
Great. I'll send the coordinates to your terminal.